hurt. Ew. I've never made that noise before. I don't know what that was. Oh. Ew. I don't even know. Ew. Ew. And I just wiped that on my table. I'm gross. So today, I don't know why my spring. Ew, maybe I should put in earrings. Whatever. So stupid. I have 2 ear piercings on each side, if you didn't know that. I don't think anyone cares. I don't know why I said that. Also, my cat is just sit on the chair behind you guys, so today I'm gonna be telling you guys a story. What the? I'm not even. As you know, I cut my hair, so that's why it's short, so get over it. Oh, cold. Oh, gross. Okay. Anyway, I already told this story before, but it was not very well told, and it was short. Also really cringy. I still am cringy, but you know what? That video was kind of a gross one. Plus, just like, I took no time in like trying to like make it. Wait, am I trying? I didn't really try to like make it good, and like, you know, the editing on it wasn't that good, so you know what? We're just gonna retry. What do I say? No, actually, you know, I'm comfortable over here. So anyway, like I was saying, I'm gonna refilm it. The story made it seem like I had bad parents, which I did not mean to do. It's just, oh my god. It was a very rushed video. It wasn't good or fresh. It wasn't working. Luna. Basically gonna, oh my gosh, Luna, okay, I can get you. You don't have to beg, girlfriend. Well, excuse me. I gotta get the food in the bowl. Of course she moved the camera. That good? Kind of close enough? Whatever. I don't know why this takes so long to do. So basically, my brain keeps shutting down every time I try to get this sentence out, and I don't know why. I better not be getting sick. I'm just so mad. This is the
Come alive, I'll take her home. I drive all night to keep her warm inside. It's frozen.
So basically, I'm gonna be telling you the story about how I was almost kidnapped. Kind of. Yeah, that title is like over dramatized, but you know what? That's how I felt. That's how we all felt. That's what we all thought was gonna happen, but it didn't. But it might have happened. It could have happened. We never know. Let's just jump into it. At least I got that sentence out. Jeez, that took forever. It took 10 minutes just for that. Luna, if you move the camera one more time. Oh. This story starts when I was in 1st grade. How old was I? I was a little baby. I was like this big. It all starts 11 years ago, like I just said. I don't know why I'm repeating myself. Ugh. I was 6 years old, I think, and it was getting close to the end of the year. Obviously, you know, like I didn't grow up in like a rich family, so both my parents had work, and you know, I just went to school like a normal kid. I rode the bus like a normal kid. Sometimes I would go to Boys and Girls Club afterwards, sometimes I wouldn't, you know, whatever. The key point is both my parents were working at this time. So this particular day, so usually my parents, one of them gets off earlier than I get out of school. Does that make sense? But so this day they were not able to do that, and my mom and dad were both at work. You know, they couldn't pick me up, so they had someone else that was gonna pick me up. It was a friend. It was all good. We had planned it out. Whatever. I keep sniffling, I swear. I think I'm getting sick. Back to the story. So, you know, we had a person to pick me up, you know, whatever. It was just a normal day of school, and I knew the school was gonna come pick me up. Or at least that's what I thought. No one told me it was gonna change, but it did. I'm just, you know, going on the day thinking this girl was gonna pick me up. I'm waiting at the end of the day, so like, you know, the school day ends, you know, I have a phone. And I know that sounds gross, you know, a 6-year-old having a phone, but it was literally like the cheapest phone you could have, and all it could do was call, and it was in my backpack, and I never used it, so you know, it wasn't really like a phone. you know, I would think like if anything happened, you know, if any plans changed, someone would call school, but you know, nothing got to me. We weren't allowed to, like, if we did have a phone, or any of the kids, even like the 5th graders and all them, if they had a phone, they were not allowed to look at it or anything. Like, they were not allowed to go on it at all. So, you know, it's not like I could have checked my phone, like had someone call me if, you know, any plans changed, because we weren't allowed to, you know, use it. It was the end of the day and I'm like waiting for this girl and I'm like, no one's here, what the heck? And I waited a while and I'm like, literally she's not here, like no one's picking me up. So I go to the office and I ask, I'm like, wasn't there this girl supposed to pick me up? Because you're supposed to call the office and let them know if someone's gonna be picking up your kid, whatever. My mom, she obviously did that. My parents both did. I go into the office and I'm like, hey, I know this girl was supposed to pick me up. Do you know like if it changed at all? They're like,
Oh, well, she's not here, you know, no one's here to pick you up yet.
also, one thing I forgot to say is when you have to pick them up, you go to the office to pick them up, and they let them know, and then they get you and all that kind of stuff. So they're like, we'll call your mom and ask her. Like half an hour goes by and they still haven't called my mom, and I'm like,
I thought you guys were gonna call my mom.
they're like, oh yeah, we'll do that, but we have to leave. Guess what? You're just gonna leave me at the school by myself? And they're like, oh no, the janitor will be here. He can keep you entertained. What? This dude was creepy as. He's so weird. Like, you're really gonna leave me with him? I'm like, yeah, sorry. And then they called my mom and they're like, hey, yo, this person didn't come get her. You're gonna have to come get her. My mom's like, what? What the heck? So my mom had to leave her work early and had to come get me. But while all this was going on, this creepy janitor dude was watching me and he was being so weird towards me. I literally thought something was gonna happen. So I was like trying to keep my distance from him as much as I could, because I was like, I don't want anything to do with this dude. All these creepy things, and like he kept trying to get, like, you know, he was getting closer and closer, and I'm like, ugh. While this is happening, my parents have no idea I'm left alone with this guy. Like, all the office told her was that you're gonna have to come pick her up because this person didn't. So she didn't know no one was there. He was like, hey, let's go over here. And I'm like, no. So my mom finally gets there, but right before she does, the people that work in the office and like the principal, that's when they come back, like literally 5 minutes before my mom got there, and they acted like nothing happened. Like they didn't leave me there with this dude, like whatever. And I'm like, what? So once we get home, I finally tell my mom like what happened. Of course she gets really mad, and like she tells my dad. My parents are like, you're not going back there. And they called the school and like the administration, like everyone that they could, and they were like, oh yeah, we'll get back to you on it. Literally days passed and no one got back to them. Like no one called them to see how we were, no one went to question me or anything. So my parents were like, you know what, we're gonna homeschool you. I basically was homeschooled for like 2 months, so okay. But yeah, basically that is the story of how I was almost kidnapped. But I guess that is all I have for today. So if you liked this stupid overdramatic story, then you should like it. And if you like me, I guess you should subscribe. And I guess I will see you next time. Bye.